George, laundry.
Uh-huh.
George, laundry.
Yep.
Georgie, cake.
Cake! Oh, I've been dying! Son of a...
I bought the orange box back in 2007 so I could play Half-Life 2 all over again. It also held episode 2 of Half-Life 2, which was released around the same time Orange Box was. Honestly, this was one of the best deals you could find on your store shelf ever. But after beating all of Half-Life 2, I saw a small little mini game in the menu. It was called Portal. Now you have to understand, Portal had a different status back then compared to now. Nobody knew what it was. Like me, people thought it was a short puzzle game to play once you beat the main course. And while that is true, Portal is not only a technical achievement in gaming because of its portal mechanics, but it's got charm blowing out of its ass. And all of this is thanks to GLaDOS. And, you know, the rest of Valve. They did good too, I guess. Portal has an extremely simple premise. Your name is Chell, and you wake up at the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. This computer-sounding voice tells you that after you beat the game's 19 test chambers, your reward is cake. This is an interesting setup for the game, and the reward of cake is very satisfying. Believe me, you'll get the cake. It'll be all yours. It's very tasty. I never lie to you. It's just simply beautiful. Anyways, at first it seems like a simple distraction, something to play to pass the time when you wait for episode 3 of Half-Life. It's gonna happen, I know it. But it turns out to be much more than that. Valve purposely played with our expectations to create an experience where the way you look at it changes throughout the game. It turns into a story about learning the downfall of Aperture Science, which is Black Mesa's largest competitor. You also get a very small understanding of what GLaDOS really is and her true purpose. The game tells you enough about its universe to be invested in it, but leaves out so many details that you're left pondering what could have happened, or maybe think about what this place was like with people. Like I said before, beautiful setup.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
The main star of the game, and in all honesty the only star of the game, is the voice of GLaDOS. GLaDOS could be anything. A woman speaking into the microphone, an AI computer, or it could be just a bunch of pre-recorded messages. Ellen McLean, the voice actress of GLaDOS, does an absolutely fantastic job. Her voice is very monotonous, yet carries personality and feeling at the same time. At the beginning of the game, she congratulates you for completing a test chamber and will give you special tips on how to complete certain levels.
You're doing very well.
The more you play, she'll start to be a tad of a bitch.
Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
The writing for GLaDOS is unique and sharp. Some of her lines just wouldn't work in any other game, and are only possible with a setup similar to Portal. Portal's art style is as sharp as the writing. The game sticks to a clean white palette while using indoor lighting to its advantage. Later in the game, you see what it looks like outside the test chambers. These parts of the game look considerably different from the puzzle sections, but still look like you're in the same facility. Graphically, the game looks very good, similar to how Half-Life 2 looks. However, both games do have some iffy textures here and there, but this game holds up surprisingly well 7 years later. The soundtrack does the same thing Half-Life 2 did. There weren't any memorable songs or themes, excluding from the Still Alive and the credits. That's gonna be remembered forever.
I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now.
Even without memorable tracks, the score almost perfectly captures the ambience of the game, and is surely one of the most underrated aspects of Portal. The entire game focuses solely on the portal gun, one of the most coolest inventions in gaming. After the first few test chambers, which teach you how portals work in the game, you then receive a portal gun that shoots only the blue portal. Soon after, you get the portal gun that shoots both orange and blue. Portals on paper are very simple. You can shoot a portal on any flat white surface. When you walk through blue, you come out orange. You walk through orange, come out blue. When you first play the game, it's incredibly hard to grasp your mind around the concept of what portals can be fully capable of. Where Portal shines is in its pacing. From beginning to end, every test chamber is increasingly harder than the previous one. You walk into a chamber equally frustrated on how to solve it, but never to the point where you tell yourself you don't know the answer, ultimately giving up and looking online for a walkthrough. That never happens in this game. Maybe it's because of the simplicity of the tests, but it's hard to pinpoint how Portal keeps its perfect difficulty. As you get further through the game, new mechanics are introduced. To open a door, you need to place a cube on a giant-ass button. Clicking buttons do things. Flying through a portal causes you to fly out the other one. Near the end, there are these adorable little turrets that shoot to kill you, which also let us some cute one-liners. The game, at a perfect pace, introduces you to each mechanic. It teaches you simply how it works, then immediately provides a challenge that focuses on that new gameplay. Later on, the game mixes everything together, creating huge levels that require all the skill that you have made up to that point. It's one of the most incredibly satisfying games I've ever played. When you make it to the elevator, you feel a huge sense of accomplishment in completing each puzzle. On the 18th test chamber, I actually gave myself a pound on the back because of how proud I felt.
The vital apparatus set will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1.
The game even introduces a beautiful companion cube later on, which accompanies you through the rest of the level. You end up building a bomb with this inanimate object, which is exactly what the game wants you to feel. This quickly made the companion cube a gaming icon. There is, however, one thing that annoys the piss out of me in this game. It's the high-powered energy pellet. Very similar to that shiny round ball of energy from Half-Life 2, this pellet bounces around, requiring you to use your portals to place the pellet in a specific spot. By doing this, it usually opens the exit door, moves an elevator, or something somewhere. But if it touches you, you're dead. If you accidentally let it bounce around the room, this could cause a problem. The other big problem about the pellet is the timing is terrible. In the early puzzles where the portals are being moved on a timer, timing the movement of the portals to where the pellet could be is incredibly frustrating. There's also a particular puzzle where you have to move so fast to be incredibly precise in order to beat the puzzle. While it sounds necessary to have a game with challenge, the pellet sometimes makes you feel like you're failing the test and it isn't your fault. In Portal 2, Valve addressed this problem and replaced it with lasers. Just goes to show that Valve really knows what they're doing. When you end up outside of the test chambers, the level design is very terrific. Whereas the puzzles feel made for a person to solve, this part of the game feels like a real place where you're actually exploring. Using the portal gun in an environment where it's not meant to be used is surprisingly satisfying. It's a nice change of pace from the rest of the game's puzzle solving. There are also a couple of nice Easter eggs, like hints to Half-Life's Black Mesa, as well as robots, which seem to be nods to the game's sequel. And then there are these cute little jellyfishes, aww! And then there's the evil jellyfish. No. Portal is a small and shiny gem inside a box of treasure. Although the game is considerably short, around 2 to 3 hours, it's a perfect treat after playing the games that were all bundled with Orange Box. Portal is an instant classic that some consider one of the biggest surprises in video games. Terrific writing, one of the best and likable antagonists in a game, sharp presentation and innovative gameplay with the ingenious Portal gun makes Portal one of the most memorable experiences of this console generation. You can download Portal on Steam for $10, or you can play it on the Xbox 360 and PS3 if you purchase the Orange Box. Finding the Orange Box now, however, isn't that easy. You best resort to eBay or your local game store to find this. Regardless of how you plan to play it, Portal is a textbook game. It's a game that both casual and hardcore gamers need to play. It caters to all ages and all audiences, and it's going to capture the hearts of everyone that is ever going to play it. Portal receives a 9.25 out of 10.
You're dying, I'll be still alive.
Thank you for watching this review on Portal. If you like what you saw, show us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. My own Twitter account is now up there and there's a link in the description. There's nothing on it, but you know, help us out, please. It's easily the best way to stay updated with everything we're doing. If you have any suggestions on future videos, comment below and let us know what you guys want. Remember, your encouragement causes us to create more videos. Thank you for watching, and stay fresh.